Pretty Girl Club, welcome back to the Exotical Storytime series. If you have a story you'd like to tell about colorism, texturism, featureism, or pretty girl problems, please email me at exoticalsunited@gmail.com because it's finally our turn to tell our side of the story. But this girl says, "Hi, I wanted to share a story that recently happened to me, and it's actually insane and points out the hypocrisy of a lot of the 'you're just a regular, unambiguous black woman.' There was a post not too long ago that was made on Instagram, and it had a lot of comments from different people that were saying the same thing that I decided to comment. There was a video of an Asian man and an unambiguous dark skinned woman that was unattractive, and I did not say anything that bad, at least from what I thought, but I did point out the fact that the Asian man was fairly more attractive than the woman. Like I said, he was out of her league because when it came to his attractiveness, he was. And normally, when I see those dynamics of the man being more attractive than the woman, a lot of times those men are using the women. Even if that weren't the case, I was just pointing that out because I have been in relationships with a lot of attractive men, and I've also been friends with attractive men that wanted to sleep with me and tell me the stories of how they treat unattractive women. When I commented that, I got a lot of backlash from a bunch of unambiguous dark skinned women. They ended up calling me a colorist and a lot of other things. One of them said, "You just can't believe that a dark skinned woman can be picked over a light skinned woman," and also commented and said, "I just feel like I'm better than unambiguous dark skinned women because I'm an exotic light skinned woman, and I feel like that makes me better," which is nothing that came out of my mouth. Literally none of these things came out of my mouth. She started making up things off of that one basic comment I made, and I was shocked because it had nothing to do with the original point I was trying to make. Which is crazy because there were other unambiguous dark skinned people that were also saying the same thing as me in the comments, and I didn't see them get the type of backlash that I got at all. After I thought the comments had died down, there was one unambiguous dark skinned woman that was overweight, and I could tell that she was very clearly from the hoods of Florida. Because I looked at her page and that's where she was from. And also, she had a bunch of tattoos all over her body. She just looked very tacky and had an unpleasant aesthetic. But she decided to start trying to harass me and call me out of my name for the comment I made under the post. She started randomly calling me a skin bleacher, which is insane, and was telling me how I look like a drag queen and RuPaul. I'm a very attractive, ambiguous looking light skinned woman. Some people call me caramel or light brown. I've had people say I resemble celebrities like Ciara the singer, Christina Milian, Kerry Washington, and even KD Aubert, even Halle Berry 3 times. I've even been told by Somalis and Eritreans that I look like them. So I have a specific and ambiguous look to a lot of people. So I know she was saying that because she was angry. So after she pissed me off, I decided to say she looked like Terry Crews with a wig on. Once I did that, all hell broke loose. She followed me on TikTok and made a burner account on there just to talk shit from her burner account, so I ended up blocking that account. But then she made another account and was stalking me and started commenting on all my pictures. I deleted her comments and blocked that account. Then she made another account where she was talking shit to me again in my messages, but I blocked it and she made another account and she was watching my live streams and reporting them and getting them banned, so I blocked her last account that was on TikTok. Then I thought it was the end. But then she finally found my Facebook and was telling me how she knows a lot of my business. And then after that, I didn't respond to it because I don't care. I just wanted her to leave me alone because it was over an Instagram argument. So then she found my YouTube channel and started talking shit on this YouTube channel. She started commenting underneath 10 of my videos talking shit, and I had to literally block her from viewing my page. It's just crazy to me how whenever they want to use a talking point of how you're just a regular, unambiguous woman just like them, when it's beneficial, then when you actually make a comment, they let you know that you're not like them and become crazy and obsessive and stalkerish. She called me anorexic, she called me a skin bleacher, and she also said I look like Casper the Ghost in some of my videos. It's crazy how all these other dark-skinned unambiguous people can comment and get little to no backlash, but as soon as an ambiguous presenting woman comments, we become the target for harassment and sometimes bullying, stalking, and even worse. I'm so glad I found this YouTube channel because I never knew a word for what I was experiencing, because these types of things have been happening my whole life. It's like whenever I say something about unambiguous dark skinned people or unattractive people in general, they take what I say to heart and get really intense. Yeah, I've noticed that pattern with women who have inferiority complexes. So first they'll try to tell you that you're regular just like them. They'll say, "Oh, you're not mixed, or you're not mixed enough, or you're not even white passing, or you're not that light skinned. You look like a regular black woman." And it's like, okay, if you truly look like a regular, unambiguous black woman, then why are you treating her that way? Why are you stalking people's pages? Why are you trying to comment on people's appearance or say that they're ugly or say they look like Casper? So it's like, if light skinned women look regular and look like unambiguous black women, and then you call a light skinned woman Casper, clearly they don't look like unambiguous women because unambiguous women do not look like Casper. But I've noticed this pattern where a lot of them want to try to stalk you or maybe dox you, or they want to torment you emotionally because that's how they feel inside. They want you to feel inferior about your beauty because that's how they feel about theirs. They want you to feel inferior about your blackness because that's how they feel about their own blackness. They're insecure about their blackness. That's why they try to use blackness as an insult against you. Because I've noticed this a lot with women in the exotical space. They'll try to tell women, well, you're not even mixed. You're just a light skinned black woman, or you're not even biracial. You're not 50% white. So they're really promoting this talking point that the more non black you are, the more valid you are. So they're trying to invalidate people based on their blackness, or they want to make you feel like you're not that pretty because you're too black. They're essentially saying you're too black to be pretty. You're too black looking to be different. You're too black looking to be pretty. Who do you think you are to comment on somebody being unattractive when you're unattractive yourself? And then when you ask them, okay, what features are unattractive? What exact facial features on light skinned black women are unattractive? Eyes, nose, lips, hair texture, skin tone? Anytime you ask them that, they can't answer. And then when they say, you're not even light skinned or you're not that light skinned, anytime you ask them, what color is light skin, they go silent because they don't have an answer. It's because they're constantly moving the goalpost for blackness. They're constantly moving the goalpost for what's light skin, and they always make sure that you don't quite fit in. And it's because they want you to feel isolated. They want you to feel alone. They want you to feel like you have no one. They want you to feel like you don't fit in anywhere, like your beauty doesn't fit in anywhere, your phenotype doesn't fit in anywhere. And then as far as her stalking and making burner accounts, this is what I've noticed. Like whenever a woman sees that you have a really big pedestal, especially if you are considered pretty, if you're an exotical and you also have a lot of pretty privilege, they will go out of their way and continuously and relentlessly try to stalk you, or they will relentlessly try to humble you because they're trying to undo all that confidence you have. It's because subconsciously they know that you have spent your life on a pedestal. They know that you've got 30 years worth of compliments. They know that you've been complimented since you were a child. They know that you've been getting the male gaze since you were a child. A lot of these women are male centered, so that's why they're obsessed with you getting the male gaze. So, because they know you have this pedestal, that's why they create fake accounts. They try to stalk you. They try to comment on your Facebook pictures. They comment on every single picture saying how ugly you are. They're doing that on purpose because they know that just one insult is not going to get to you, because they know that you've probably been complimented tens of thousands of times throughout your lifetime. So that's why you see a lot more vitriol with women with inferiority complexes against MLS women who are pretty privileged. You see them go a lot harder and try a lot more to convince those women that they're ugly because they already know that they have more work to do when it comes to breaking down your self-esteem. They know that breaking down your self-esteem is going to be more difficult. So that's why they insult you 25 times and they only insulted the other girl one time. That's why they respond to your comments on the Shade Room. They didn't respond to the other girl's comments because they feel sad for the other unambiguous women. They feel pity for fellow unambiguous dark-skinned black women. They don't feel pity for you because you have privilege over them. Anytime you have a privilege over somebody else, that person is generally not going to feel empathy for you. And usually that person will work harder to tear you down because they feel like, oh no, she already has privilege too. Oh, I have to work extra hard to tear her down. I have to work extra hard to convince her that she's ugly. So let me make 5 burner accounts and leave 25 comments on her TikTok page so I can talk shit. But what do you ladies think? Have you ever had cyber stalkers? Let me know in the comments section and I'll talk to you next time. Stay pretty, ladies.